That's the plan? So we're literally herding cats?
Across 33 movies in the MCU, with at least 11 more on the way, in various stages of development, not every Marvel movie has managed to find its audience. Hey, and thanks for joining us here at CBR. Today, we'll be discussing Marvel's MCU canon, not the astronomical success stories like the first Iron Man, or the fan favorites like Black Panther, but the movies that struggled to connect with audiences, whether due to poor timing, tonal inconsistency, or a failure to capture the magic that makes the MCU a major movie-going event. First up, we have 2023's Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Besides the title being more than a mouthful, the movie placed the titular heroes Ant-Man, played by Paul Rudd, and the Wasp, played by Evangeline Lilly, are in the abstract and colorfully overwhelming quantum realm, where just about anything can and does happen. There, our heroes face a new foe, Kang the Conqueror, played by Jonathan Majors, along with MODOK and other multiversal threats. Quantumania attempts to establish too many things for the future of the franchise. The movie serves as a continuation of Scott Lang's story, which now includes his teenage daughter, Cassie, a cinematic introduction to the Kang variations, and touches base with Hank Pym and the new iteration of the character. All of these threads culminate in a confusing experience that forgets what makes Ant-Man an appealing character in the first place, and the film failed to find its audience. 2021's Eternals should have been a major success. The movie's primary cast is composed of A-listers and renowned performers: Angelina Jolie, Selma Hayek, Kit Harington, Kumail Nanjiani, and Gemma Chan. The story is wide in scope and expands Marvel's already far-reaching horizons. Eternals director Chloe Zhao, previous film, 2020's Nomadland, won several Academy Awards, including Best Director, should have delivered a knockout. The movie is one of the least beloved of the canon. Among the many things that didn't work about Eternals is the focus on a handful of characters whose immortality opens more questions than are possibly answerable. Having been around for millennia, including the events of each of the Avengers movies, there's a sense that this tacked-on story doesn't belong within this timeline. Going too powerful and too cosmic results in something human being lost, and the sense that heroes are just far too selective about who they help and when. The second Thor movie, 2013's The Dark World, has more in common with a minor battle in the Lord of the Rings than anything previously established within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Granted, before writers like Joss Whedon and Taika Waititi added relatable depth to the character, it was far too serious to truly enjoy. The character's direness was a constant, and humor was hard to come by. The Dark World isn't terrible by any means, and the Dark Elf Malekith is a solid villain for the hero. But along with the first Thor, the tone is too far removed from Chris Hemsworth's later version of the character to seem canonical. The Marvels came at a strange moment for the MCU. With every major step forward comes the expectation of higher stakes. Eventually, with all the extraterrestrial storylines, the earthbound qualities begin to fade. With a fantastically onboard cast including Brie Larson, Fiona Harris, and Iman Vellani, the Marvels should have been a step forward in introducing new characters to lead the way beyond Phase 5. Sadly, the forgettable new threat and too many characters to keep track of. The Marvels feels less like a standalone viewing experience and a piece of a much larger story. On paper, Thor: Love and Thunder should have been a mega hit with audiences. The movie continues and expands on everything Taika Waititi added to Thor's character. New Asgard and fan-favorite side characters should be a pleasure to spend more time with. All of Waititi's staples are present: magic, music, and humor they've grown to expect. But something is amiss. 2017's Thor Ragnarok just does everything better. It doesn't hurt that the third Thor film was a surprise pivot that no one would have expected. Love and Thunder offers more of the same, but in different measurements. It doesn't help that, at heart, Love and Thunder has a very sad story to tell about Thor's former flame. Wasn't much of a presence for several films. Jane Foster, played by Natalie Portman, sits awkwardly alongside the more comedic elements. Disparate tones and redundant horror left audiences feeling alienated from the material. There you have it, the Marvel films that failed, sometimes admirably, but didn't find an audience. Which of these films do you think deserves to be more popular? Should Morbius be on the list? Venom? Pretty much all of the Sony films did fail to find their audience unless they had Spider-Man in their name. Thanks for watching CBR, and remember to subscribe for all the latest breakdowns, countdowns, and more. Until next time.